Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. For anybody new here, my name is Zion and we talk about all things money. Today is Wednesday, June 3rd, and this is your stimulus update for Wednesday, June 3rd. This stimulus update is going to be for anyone on Social Security benefits such as SSI, SSDI, Social Security retirement, Social Security survivors, railroad retirement benefits, and VA beneficiaries. So I'm going to go ahead and answer some questions that I got on my last stimulus update video. But before I do that, make sure you go ahead and hit that like button down below. When you hit that like button, it allows this video to get sent out to more people who are in your situation or similar situations. Additionally, I want you to comment down below if you got your stimulus check yet. Today is June 3rd, so many of you are actually supposed to get your stimulus check today. So let me know if you've gotten it. And if you haven't gotten it, I want you to let me know if you have a pending date. This will allow me to know what's the next pending date, and it'll allow me to tell other people as well. If you haven't gotten it and you have no pending date, please leave a comment down below and giving me as much information about your situation as possible. All right, guys. So before we get into the video, one more thing, make sure to go ahead and hit that subscribe button because there's going to be a lot more content like this. Okay, let's get to the video. So the first comment is from Derek. They say, "Hey, I'm Derek Waller and I have a PAYEE as well. And I don't have a Direct Express card. My money comes on a net spend card, so I've been waiting since and I haven't received my check yet, my first check." Hi Derek, thank you so much for leaving a comment. So my first thing would be to go onto the Get My Payment portal, and a little trick that I found is that if you have a PAYEE, if you go ahead and type in your own social security number, but actually type in your payee's address, that could actually help you to have an easier time of getting into the portal and checking to see if you have any sort of payment pending. So I would definitely do that and check to see if you have a payment pending. The next question is from Marilyn. They say, "I'm on SSI, no check, I've got direct deposit, and living at the same place for 12 years. Put in my information on payment tool, says my information doesn't match. I've tried everything." Hi Marilyn, thank you so much for leaving a comment. So the first question I have is, when did you go on SSI? If you just went on SSI in 2020, I'm going to ask, have you filed your 2018 or 2019 tax return? If you haven't, then you must go and fill out the non-filers form. And on that form, make sure you're putting in your correct and current address. Additionally, for a lot of people, when it says that the information is not matching, make sure you try these several things. Number one, make sure you're putting dashes in between your social security number. Number two, make sure that you're putting your address in all caps and you're abbreviating things such as road, boulevard, and lane. Additionally, I would suggest that you try to get on the Get My Payment portal on a desktop rather than on your phone. I've had quite a few comments saying that people who have Androids for some reason can't get on their actual phone. Another tip is if you're trying to get on your iPhone, maybe try getting the Chrome app. I've heard that people have been able to get on the Chrome app, but not necessarily on Safari. I'm not really sure why that could be. Maybe it's a formatting issue. So, and lastly, I would say to try to go ahead and get on that Get My Payment portal early in the morning when not as many people are on it. If you have tried all of that and that still fails, I would definitely suggest trying to call the IRS. Call once again in the morning when there's not as many people who are trying to contact them, and I'll make sure to leave a phone number at the end of this video that you can go ahead and contact. I hope this helps. My next question is from Anne-Marie. They ask, "I did get mine, when is the next one?" Hi Anne-Marie, thank you so much for leaving a comment. So I'm so glad that you've gotten your first stimulus check. In terms of your second stimulus check, there's actually hasn't been a second stimulus check actually approved to be sent out to American households just yet. The only thing that has actually been passed is something called the HEROES Act, and there's a provision that says households will get $1,200 for per filer. If you're filing jointly, you will get $2,400, and each dependent is also eligible for an extra $1,200 per dependent. With that said, while the HEROES Act is actually passed in the House, it still has to be passed in the Senate. And I'll go ahead and link a video right up here where I talk a little bit more about the chances of this next stimulus check actually happening, and I kind of relate it to the protest going on right now all across America. But I did want to say that it doesn't really seem that the Senate really has at all a priority in order to get a stimulus package passed at the moment. And we're not exactly sure what is going to be in the next stimulus package. In my opinion, I do see there being a fairly high chance of there being another stimulus check, especially since the economy is pretty much in turmoil and there's another election coming up. But once again, go ahead and watch that video and definitely let me know what you think in the comment section on that video. My next question is from Paula. They say, I received TANF public assistance from the government. When will I or the people will be able to get a stimulus check? Hi Paula, thank you for your question. So from my understanding, there are quite a few people who are in TANF who don't necessarily file taxes. And so I want to know, have you filed a tax return? And I'm asking that because if you haven't, then you have to go ahead and go on irs.gov and file out a non-filers form. After you fill out that non-filers form, then make sure you put your correct and current address or your direct deposit. And then from there, you either get something in the mail, a check in the mail, or you'll get something called an economic impact payment card, an EIP card, which is essentially your stimulus card. If you've actually already done all of that and you're still not seeing a payment date on my payment portal, then I would definitely go ahead and call IRS rep. My next question is from Daryl. They say, what are the chances of approval of the aid and attendance increase in the HEROES Act for disabled veterans being brought forward in a bill that could become law? Hi, Daryl. Thank you so much for commenting. Also, if you are a veteran, I just want to take a moment to say thank you. In terms of your comment, I just wanted to clarify for people who might not be familiar, within the HEROES Act, there's a provision specifically talking about increased spending and what the VA can increase spending on. And so specifically, there is a measure that will allow the VA to spend more than 25% on aid and assistance for veterans, so for things such as like in-home care. And so, Daryl, I just want to say, I think it's really hard to tell. I think that potentially, since it is my concern is since it's a pretty small measure within a provision that it gets overlooked by the Senate. With that said, of the 14 senators that actually sit on the VA committee in the Senate, 3 of them were veterans. So I'm hoping that they would have a pretty loud voice in kind of speaking to their own experiences and kind of push for this measure. But I think it's really hard to kind of tell what's in the minds of senators at the moment. Really and truly, I think my concern is that the big topics being explored and pushed right now are different for Republicans. Republicans, for example, really want to push people to get back to work, while Democrats have a bigger focus on, for example, funding state and local governments. And so I really hope that they do, because I think that's very important. But my concern is that since it is such a small measure within a provision, it might be overlooked by the senators. But I think we'll just have to see. So lastly, I just kind of want to go over some of the general recommendations that I've been giving people on a whole. And so I want to kind of go over them, kind of explain in its totality. So if you're having any sort of trouble getting onto the Get My Payment tool, make sure that you're getting on there pretty early in the morning, but also checking throughout the day regularly. I know that's kind of a tough balance, but I think it's really important to ensure that you are trying to use a desktop if possible, or like I said a little bit earlier in the video, trying to use, which has been seeming to work for quite a few people. If you're getting that common error message of your information's not matching, make sure that you are putting in your current address, or even try an alternate address, such as an address that you used to live about 5 years ago. Also, make sure that you're putting dashes in between your social security numbers, and you're putting your address in all caps, as well as abbreviating things such as lane, road, and boulevard. So hopefully that will be able to help. In terms of people who are not eligible, I just kind of want to go over this again. Unfortunately, if you're claimed as a dependent on your taxes, on someone else's taxes, even if you're an adult, you're not eligible. For anyone who's 17 years and younger, they're not eligible for a $1,200 stimulus check. However, if they are claimed by someone on someone's taxes, they are eligible for a $500 stimulus check. The IRS has really messed that up this year, unfortunately, and a lot of people hadn't really received that extra $500 per dependent. So what I would say is when you file your 2020 taxes come early 2021, make sure you are claiming that credit, that $500 credit, so you can get your money back as well. Also, if you owe a lot of child support, back child support could actually prevent you from getting your checks. So just ensure that you're able to kind of work that out with whomever and kind of get that up to date so you can go ahead and get your stimulus check. I also want to say for people who are dependents right now, as it stands in the HEROES Act, the provision that does speak about stimulus payments to individual Americans, it does say that dependents will now be eligible for this $1,200 stimulus. So that is a change. Additionally, the IRS has come out and said that they are thinking about it and they're currently reviewing it, but they may actually allow for people who were claimed as a dependent for 2018 and 2019, if you're not claimed as a dependent for 2020, you might be eligible to go ahead and use a credit and get that $1,200 as well. All right, guys, that's all for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed it, please go ahead and give this video a big thumbs up. Also, let me know in the comment section down below if you already received your payment check, what date exactly did you get that check? If you haven't received it, if you have a payment date pending, let me know in the comment section down below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. There's going to be a lot more content like this. All right, guys, until next time. Bye.